What's going on, everybody? Happy Halloween, or late Halloween, since you're seeing this kind of late, from your boy Jobbers and Goons. And today we have a special Halloween slash horror themed video in which we subject Goku to terrifying matchups, right? We've done this before with 100 characters that can beat Goku from Marvel, 100 characters that can beat Goku from DC. Go check those out if you haven't. And make sure to smash the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's try to get this to like 300 likes. That'd be amazing. But anyways, what we're going to do, funny enough, it was supposed to start off as a normal like 100 characters that could beat Goku horror edition. However, due to the fact that I quickly discovered there's like more than 100 from just Cthulhu Mythos and Lovecraftian horror that could bop Goku, I decided we're going to make this basically Cthulhu edition. So if you guys are a fan of Cthulhu content and want to see all the scaling for it, all the evidence, the sources, all that, you can actually hit me up on Discord, because I'll primarily be using like Cthulhu game footage since the text, there's so much to read through. But again, if you want access to that thread, hit me up on my Discord. Now, first, let's kind of establish where we put Goku in terms of power. So, Goku, the way we will be considering him is we will be very generous with the scaling. You know, Dragon Ball fans don't typically allow generous scaling for other verses. Like, somehow Goku's multiversal at his best, but Superman isn't. Like, that's fucking nuts that people say that. But regardless, shout out to Goku getting tasered recently. Goku, we will consider him at, like, multiversal with immeasurable speed. We'll be really nice, right? We'll be nice. So we give him that scaling. And he has energy manipulation and other hacks. So we're kind of going to break this up into a few different categories within Lovecraftian horror and Cthulhu Mythos. Like the makeup of the verse and why Goku, even with hacks, you know, resistances scaling to his AP, all this, why he gets absolutely shit stomped should Son Goku get trapped or lost in this neighborhood of Cthulhu Mythos. So first, let's get into part 1 / the Great Old Ones, aka the dudes that are kind of like Cthulhu himself. First of all, if you're not that familiar with the verse, even though it's called Cthulhu Mythos and typically referred to as that, Cthulhu's not the big dog. The Great Old Ones, or the race that Cthulhu is aligned with and such, think of them of like, I guess the best way to probably put it would be the gods or those that inspire the mythologies for humans, right? The human race would see these as the transcendental gods. The old ones, even from sources like Dunwich Horror, basically considered undimensioned. They are without dimension. They are not from here. They are from an immeasurable distance away, from a completely different type of cosmos that completely defies logic, is beyond logic and contradiction. It's unique in consciousness and form. This would bare minimum put them beyond any forms or physics or anything that would make sense in terms of being physical. It's even stated at one point, I believe it was in the Whisper of Darkness, or in Darkness, that Cthulhu coming forth, like, basically sparks stars of history and whatnot. As, like I said, the Great Old Ones are accredited with basically being like the gods or inspiration for gods within creation. They are also, obviously, even if you check in the Call of Cthulhu, there's evidence of Cthulhu tears being massively beyond the conception of normal dimensions. They literally break logic themselves. Obviously, logic is something we would use to justify like math and whatnot, so they'd be beyond mathematics. They also exist, according to Call of Cthulhu, beyond contradictions and all forms of cosmic existence. Cthulhu himself and Great Old Ones are most known for like mind hacking and dream manipulation, although they do have obviously reality warping to a high degree. He also made a city, R'lyeh, or however the fuck you pronounce it, Don't really know how to pronounce this stuff. But Cthulhu essentially made this city that was beyond measureless eons. Basically, predates history itself. So overall, for Cthulhu and the Great Old Ones, part of this scaling, for him and his tier, you can easily argue a range from higher dimensional to outer versal for him. Some of the hacks included is reality warping, mind hacking, and dream manipulation, making him a weird foe to deal with as well as people of his tier. Given he's beyond contradictions and logic, he should be beyond causality inherently. Overall, obviously, the Great Old Ones in this tier of existence would slap the dog shit out of Goku, even if we highballed him. Next phase we have is the Outer Gods. Outer Gods have some pretty crazy scaling, so buckle up. Now, these beings are formless and ineffable archetypes that exist massively beyond the creation described below it, which would also include the likes of the Great Old Ones. This can be seen in through the gates of the Silver Key. They also massively scale, and it's confirmed, above prior tier of beings. So it shouldn't even be comparable, aka should be like transcendental in comparison. They have infinite, endless forms in the chaos and voids of existence and beyond. So like basically, even if, let's say, God forbid, Goku pulled up on them, right? Like, let's say he got to the gates, right? Let's fucking say he gets to the gates. I don't know how, but let's say he does. He would have to deal with innumerable, like, archetypal aspects of them. It's ridiculous. Like, he would get his shit stomped in. These beings rule from chaos itself, which is beyond all forms and non-forms conceived prior. This would famously include the likes of powerhouses like Azathoth on his black throne. Outer Gods are also completely beyond dreams themselves. Like, even conceptual dreams do not scale to the Outer Gods. Even normal beings in chaos are formless in nature. For example, even the bats, like the bats flying around, are formless. Like, they're beyond forms. So fucking Goku's getting boloed by the animals on this level. Like, that shit's ridiculous. They're so high tier, it's disgusting. There's also no conceivable way to scale or communicate the scaling of Outer Gods. That is, there is no verbiage or words that exist in the human language that could properly scale or quantify the Outer Gods. So terms like outer, versal, boundless, like all that, technically that doesn't even describe them. We don't have a descriptor for them. Famously, we've also seen this in Marvel Comics before with classic Dormammu's realm. But yeah, no, that is pretty crazy scaling. Even avatars of these beings, of Outer Gods, can tank outright assaults from Great Old Ones themselves. So they're outright taking outer versal attacks like it's nothing, so obviously Goku doesn't have an answer for them. And scary enough, there are levels and gates which can be defined as immeasurable gaps in between that make up this portion of gods, meaning there are even levels to Outer Gods. Existence would merely be an atom to the composition of these beings in terms of size. So like, Outer Gods, their avatars, like, creation is just an atom compared to the avatar's form. That's disgusting. Overall, for this tier, the Outer Gods, these beings are casually high outer. Beings of outer proportions are viewed like the universe would view atoms. That's how crazy the scale gets. They are massive in scale and beyond dreams themselves. They are true cosmic terrors beyond the cosmos. Last group we're going to talk about is the Elder Gods. These are ones you can kind of find somewhere in between the hierarchies of scaling in this verse. And they can scale to Great Old Ones, if not above, but obviously you'll see they don't really scale to Outer Gods. You'll see why in a bit. But beings in this realm or tier are gods compared to gods like the Great Old Ones. So where humanity would view great old ones like gods of creation or of mythology, elder gods will be like gods to their gods. That's how that goes. Elder gods like Nodens, who's personally one of my favorite because he actually scraps, will straight up brawl with avatars of outer gods. We saw this in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, in which Nodens was able to put down haunted conceptual horrors, although all this did was basically piss off the outer god he was dealing with. Hypnos can go past and transcend beyond dreams. I will warn you, Hypnos takes one of the fattest L's in the mythos, but he can go past and even transcend beyond dreams, showing their ability to comprehend and go forth is insane. He can travel beyond all forms of description and language. So like I mentioned prior, how there's levels and realms beyond descriptor. He would be able to go to stuff like that to a degree. The narrator of the story he was in could not go where Hypnos went, as eventually he basically, you could say, went beyond the story. Hypnos eventually goes too far, right? Like kind of how I mentioned, he was a beast, but until he got too big for his britches, yeah. He ran into outer gods, went too far. The Lord of Sleep, Hypnos, the one that was seeking to become the god of all things, saw the gates, saw the outer gods look at him, and was shook. In fact, basically only his physical body remained after that. As the Lord of Sleep against the night sky and against the mad ambitions of knowledge and philosophy got bodied. Like he got manhandled and basically one shot. Azathoth as well, is just kind of a fun fact in the verse, is considered an absolute idiot and basically has to be kept at rest by a flute that's playing because he be big tripping. But anyways, the elder gods, while they don't have the craziest scaling in the verse, they easily have enough to accidentally body Goku. So overall, all these beings, which consists of hundreds, if not thousands of beings, because we got to consider the regular animals and those that remain at certain levels of the mythos, these beings would absolutely slaughter Goku, well over 100. So technically you got a lot more than you asked for. Goku would get fucked if he showed up to Cthulhu Mythos. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more Cthulhu Mythos content in the future, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want access to all my references, all my scaling for it, and all the information, scans, and sources, hit me up on Discord and I'll hook you up. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.